It may seem like divorce is your best next step, but I'm going to be clear with you, it's not going to be easy. That sense of relief you're looking for won't stick around. And actually, no one tells you about the guilt, regret, and the fallout. So I want you to stop for this video, and I'm going to walk you through real reasons why divorce may not be your best option, even if you feel like it is the only one right now. The first thing you're going to experience after a divorce is that sense of loss and grief. Can you ask yourself, what is your reason for wanting a divorce? Is it the lack of connection? Maybe feeling unimportant, like you don't matter to your partner, or you don't feel prioritized and validated. Or heck, maybe you've fallen out of love with your partner. The truth is, every person and every relationship has its own set of problems. And sometimes it does feel like some problems will never be resolved. But before you make a final decision, let's talk about the loss that comes with divorce. You may wrongly think that divorce is going to end the pain and the disconnection you're feeling in your relationship. I want to be real with you as an experienced couples therapist. Yes, you may get some relief because you don't have to face those daily fights with your partner or feel that cold distance between you and your partner. That relief is only temporary. After divorce, you'll be stepping into a whole lot of other painful feelings. You'll be feeling that sense of loss, and this is not just the loss of the relationship. You'll be grieving the loss of a future together, all the plans you had and the visions you had for your life, for growing old together and what that would look like for both of you. Think about the house you shared together and the attachment you may have to the house, to that kind of stability and security. The routines, the plans you had together, maybe those trips that you were going to take together, or even simple things like spending Sunday morning together. That sense of stability and security you once knew will be gone, and you have to start over again. Maybe you'll be left with that feeling of, I don't know who I am anymore. Outside of my identity as a partner, as a husband or a wife, I really don't know myself anymore, and I have to rediscover myself. What am I going to do for the rest of my life? How am I going to make meaning? You're no longer part of a team. You're just you. So basically, if you're thinking about divorce, you need to think that you're trading one pain for another set of pain. And sometimes that new pain can even hit harder. If you're feeling like divorce is your only option now, but you're terrified of what comes next, hit that like button. Let other people know that they're not alone. The other thing is, you need to think of divorce and separation as a traumatic loss. And with any traumatic loss, you need to take your time processing and potentially entering therapy. Imagine a loved one, maybe a parent who passes away. That's the level of grief we're talking about. You have to let go of someone willingly, someone who is still alive, but who's no longer part of your life in the same way. That's gut-wrenching. And it may not be just a few weeks of sadness. Sometimes it can take years to rebuild a sense of self. And if you have kids, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. The guilt is real. You're going to feel bad for them, knowing you're uprooting and changing their lives forever. You'll have to be there to help them through a transition while you're going through your own transition and accepting this loss. And that's not easy. For example, imagine your child asking, why can't mom and dad live together anymore? That's a conversation no parents wants to have. And on top of that, it's going to be more work for you as a single parent. Handling school runs alone, coordinating schedules, managing finances also. You'll be hypervigilant, overthinking every decision, and wondering if you could have made it work. That's the weight of this traumatic loss. Now, I'm not saying if you're an unhealthy, toxic, abusive relationship, you shouldn't consider divorce. This is more for people who are on the fence, who've had a healthy relationship, but their emotional needs haven't been met in the marriage. So before you make a decision that could change your life forever, I want you to really assess your relationship. You need to understand where your relationship is currently at, where things might be breaking down, and whether this relationship can be saved. I don't want you to leave a relationship that still has a chance to be fixed and saved. So I've put together a relationship test that's going to help you accurately assess your current relationship, learn about what the work is that you need to do to fix it, or give you the confirmation that the relationship is so bad that it's beyond repair and there's no other option other than just moving on. You can find the test in the description below the video. You can download it for free and take it right away to get the answers you need. And here's something that's so hard to admit. You are part of the problem too. It's so easy to think that you're not, but most likely if there was fighting in the relationship, you contributed to them. Also, if there was emotional withdrawal in the relationship, you contributed to that too. When fighting, maybe you reacted with anger, slammed doors, gave your spouse silent treatment, or shut down emotionally. Maybe you didn't prioritize your partner's needs, or you didn't make them feel seen. Again, I'm not talking about relationships with toxic and abusive patterns. That's a whole different story. I'm talking about relationships where both people's needs were not met. So if you don't own your part, you're gonna carry those same issues into your next relationship. For example, if you've always struggled with feeling unappreciated, you may carry that into dating, looking for validation from the wrong people. That is still your vulnerability. And how you behave when you feel unappreciated is gonna repeat itself in the next relationship. So what I'm telling you is that there is some learning for you here. And if you don't learn what you need to learn in this relationship, you're gonna repeat it again and again and again and risk losing future relationships. So why not invest in the one that you've currently invested in? And at least walk away with the peace of mind that you learned what you needed to learn, you acknowledge your part, and then you decide to move on. That's a mature way of handling things than just thinking of divorce as a point of relief. So I'm not just talking theoretically about this. This is what I see in my practice. Life after divorce is not so rosy. And let's talk about the loneliness and the challenges in dating afterwards. There will be probably some period of time that you'll feel emotionally shut down, more closed off, not emotionally available, because you need time to process the hurt and the ending of that relationship. Even if you start dating again, those new connections may feel shallow or rushed. It's not like the first person you meet will sweep you off your feet. You may find yourself on dating apps, getting ghosted, and feeling like no one really understands you. You may jump from one short-term connection to another, hoping it'll fill the emptiness, but it doesn't. And chances are you'll spend years by yourself, feeling drained, with no energy left to open your heart again. That's the loneliness and isolation no one talks about. With all of this, you may still feel like your marriage is breaking down, and more than likely there's something deeper going on. And for you to make the next best decision on whether or not to move forward with the divorce, you need to know what that something deeper is. So I'm going to break down exactly how your marriage may be falling apart and what you can do to fix it before it's late on the video on your screen now.